Hmm. Good morning. Good morning. Um, Hi, good morning, everybody. This is so strange, and I'm completely thrown off guard by this, but I can't get my comments to show up on the screen, which is very frustrating. Everything is a little strange today. I'm also getting a notification that this did not post on X, and I cannot change that. Huh. Good morning. Y- Um, Part of me wants to like leave you here for 1 second and just go share this on my X platform. I'm not really sure. Sometimes occasionally, like on Facebook, it'll be like, oh, you need to log in, or I don't know if it's just after a little bit of time, they want to make sure that you're really the one that's doing these things. But for some reason, I can't get the comments on the screen today. It didn't show up on my X account. Stay here, talk amongst yourselves. I can't see comments, which is crazy. I'm going to try to share. I'm going to try to share this on my X. Give me 1 second. All right, good morning. Can you guys hear me okay? This is so strange that I cannot see comments. And I won't like hang up on it, but okay, perfect. Good morning. Hi, Ben. Long time no see. All right, as long as I know you guys can hear me, we're going to have to just do it blindly today. Very strange. All right, good morning. Hi, welcome to 24 on 24. You're going to get a second 24 on 24 today. I'm going to head up to the Casey Fitzsimmons hearing today at noon. That is in Salem, Superior. Fuck my life. That is a long ass drive. And when it comes to court hearings, who knows how long this is going to be? 10 minutes? Who knows? All that kind of a drive for. I'm blindly pulling out of this. We're doing a lot of things today with no. Thank you. I like your Porsche. We're doing things with faith today, apparently. Um, so I'll be heading up there to cover that. But to be quite honest with you, um, I'm going to listen to some podcasts when I'm driving today. Something I normally don't do. Or I'm going to make a bunch of phone calls and talk to people I haven't talked to in a while because I've got the time. So it's very different from before. Thank you. When I didn't have a good car, driving to places was kind of stressful, but it feels very luxurious. And I'm who doesn't like a good car ride? Just a quick little jump over to Salem, no big deal. Um, Good morning. I'm a little run down and a little tired. As you know, yesterday I was trying my 24 hours of Tylenol free, and I took 2 Tylenol just before I walked out the door to go to the event last night in Bridgewater. And Again, I didn't take any this morning, so I'm really trying very hard, but I'm run down. So, um, it is what it is. It sucks. So last night I did a quick 24 and 24 just to memorialize some of my thoughts. So last night we went to Bridgewater for this event, saw some besties there. Some besties showed up, Mermaid Mary, and a couple of other besties that I met for the first time, which was great. And they were inspired to go out and listen to some candidates. I mean, if you're going to go to an event, that's the first one to go to. It was insane. It was insane. Listen, last year I was selected to be a journalist of the year for a Reagan Lincoln dinner. And there were a lot of people there, but it was a big ass ballroom and plenty of room to move around and hide if you needed to. This was like sardines in a can. Definitely a COVID super spreader event for sure. And it was just so many people. They had food there, wouldn't know, didn't find it. Funeral lady went, she found it, but she came later, so she had some treats. You couldn't get to the bar, you couldn't move around. I was fine. I got to my table. Phil from the K Zone was there, which was a pleasant surprise. And I had service. I pulled out my laptop. I was like, my plan was I'm going to live tweet everything that's going on during the gubernatorial candidates speaking. And then all of a sudden it went from 5G to 4G. I had one bar. I'm trying to get my hotspot going. Then Phil is like taking one for the team. He's like, I'm going to go to the bar and ask them if they've got a code for the Wi-Fi. And they're like, no, we don't have a code. Who the fuck doesn't have a code for the Wi-Fi? You got a whole room full of 400 people, and you have no signal. You better have a Wi-Fi. And so we didn't. So I could do nothing. The only thing I could do was pull out my notes app and type notes on my laptop, which is fine. But you know me, I love a good live tweet. So, listen, it's political season. This is an election year for Maura Healey. Maura Healey fucking sucks. You know that. I know that. And that's it. So time to fucking vote her out of office. If you're a Maura Healey fan, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have time for your shit. She ruined this state. I don't know who said it last night, with 2 hands. 3 years and 2 hands destroyed. Say what you want about Charlie Baker, but holy shit, she just dismantled everything that we had. No more. You got one chance. I knew how it was going to go. We all knew how it was going to go, but we're not interested in becoming the East Coast California, ma'am. So no, thank you. So anyway, great kickoff to the political season. Great job to the Bridgewater Republican Town Committee. I aspire to host something similar at ours, but that was amazing. Got everybody in the room. Lots of peeps in the room. Lots. In true Julia fashion, the kid has not been back to the house for more than a minute. She shows up yesterday because she doesn't work on Mondays. She shows up yesterday, not 5 minutes, but I am, when you're getting ready to go somewhere, you've got your schedule. Currently right now, I am blow drying my hair and curling it, and I don't have time to talk to you. But Julia shows up the prodigal son returning, and she's like, hi, it's me. What's everybody doing? With no agenda, just to fucking come around and chit chat. And I'm like, I can't talk to you. I gotta go. Go talk to your siblings. She's actually looking in our house for the the realtors give you a sign to hold so they can take a picture, and it says sold or whatever. It's in the shape of a key somewhere in our house, and I don't know where it is. I don't know where Jeffrey put it. So she's looking for it, and she's knocking on the door to the bathroom. She goes, I know you're busy, but do you have a time to help me find this? Julia, the answer is no. Goodbye. Go hang out with Georgia. I'm busy. So there's that. I had something else to say. Hold on, I have to think of it. Every day I come up with an agenda of things that I need to talk to you about. And I actually have a feeling that today is going to be a very short one because I have to get ready to go to Salem and I have things I need to do beforehand or whatever. I am in a little bit of a like the Uvalde trial for the police officer from the Uvalde shooting has my attention. So for those of you who don't know or are new here, I kind of made my name around town here after the Parkland shooting. Obviously you've gotten to know me, right? Over the past 6 months of me chit-chatting about myself. As you can imagine, I was probably pretty distraught after the Sandy Hook shooting. I had children in school. And the Monday after the Sandy Hook shooting, I was a volunteer in my son's class. And I went into his classroom to help them with a project. Because if you remember, that was leading into Christmas. The project I will never forget, it was they were taking milk cartons and turning them into little gingerbread houses. And so I was in his classroom, and we had just obviously a few days earlier heard about someone walking into a classroom just like my son's and killing everybody. And I was really struggling to be in there. I looked at that classroom, standing in that classroom, and recognized like how vulnerable those kids were. But I didn't act. Obviously, I got worried and I was worried, but I didn't act. But it wasn't until the Parkland shooting where I was like, I'm going to act on this. I need to make sure, at a minimum, my own children's classrooms are safe. And we learned simple things like doors did not lock. Teachers did not have tools. They didn't have simple forms of communication. And I was like, okay, pretty much how it is in real life. Is anybody else doing this? Is anybody else talking about it? No. Okay, I'll do it. And so Parkland really kind of set the tone, and we made huge changes. Parents getting up and speaking up, and really just honestly being a major pain in the ass, okay, is what really did it. That's what did it. Being an absolute fucking bitch at meetings, making people uncomfortable, being a menace, and you can't stop a parent from doing that. They have every right to go to a meeting and bitch and complain during fucking public input. You have every right to put in public records requests and say, I want to look at all of the items that were purchased with this money, blah, 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 blah. So I just became really just a menace, and it got stuff done basically to shut me the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, okay, let's do this, blah, 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 blah. Hey, Shane, fuck you. Don't say fuck you to me in the morning. I haven't had a coffee yet. I'm tired of grouchy. Why are you mean? Why are you mean? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, what's wrong with you that you feel like you should just come on my stream and swear at me? Why would you do that? Like, what's the issue? What's the problem? Do you need a hug? What's wrong? I can only see YouTube comments right now. I can't see Facebook comments. I can't see. I just feel like I need to start this day over. Don't let Shane out of the group. Let Shane stay there and act like an animal. Shane loves to take over Rat House Media's chat. Oh my God, what a menace. What does Jeff say that he was? Agent of something? Good morning, Lainey. I'm in line, and there is a line at society, like a line. Okay, Shane, but what's the issue? You want to talk to me? What? What? How did you try to talk to me? Did you message me, text me? Do you remember what I said yesterday? I wasn't going to respond to texts. I needed to take a break. I told people not text me. First of all, lots of besties didn't even listen, which is fine. Um, but didn't I say I needed a break from that? You don't respect my boundaries, Shane. Why? Good morning, Erin Ashley. You have missed nothing. Okay, you know what, Shane? You've got my attention. What do you need right now? Drop it right here. I will see it. And I will listen to you right now. What do you need? Do you want to talk? I will send you a link right now. Do you want to talk? I'll send you a link and you can jump in. Just shut your camera off and you can talk. Do you want to talk? Do you need that? Leanne, happy 50th. All right, Shane, here you go. I'm going to drop it in the chat. There you go. Someone needs attention. Go ahead. I'm in the mood to fight today. It's all right. Who cares? Let's just bring them on. I'm in the mood to fight. Let me get my coffee. He's not leaving me hanging. I don't give a fuck. You know what? If anybody wants it, take the link and you can ask. Just keep your camera off. I don't need to see.
Hi, welcome to society. What can I get for you today?
Hi, can I have a large iced white chocolate pistachio made with whole milk?
No problem. Anything else?
Do you have any Asiago bagels?
We do.
Okay, I'll have one of those toasted with cream cheese.
No problem. Anything else?
That's it. Thanks.
No problem. Go for it.
I'm not really sure when we'll be able to eat today, so we'll have to. Where's the link? I dropped it in the chat. Scroll up. So today, okay, so okay. So some of you who've, oh my God, I'm going to sneeze. Is it something every time I'm here, I sneeze? Yeah. Yeah. All right. My coffee is so close. So this is something that I need to share. So some of you who are followers or fans of mine thank you, who are friends with Nurse Kim will know, or maybe independently on your own, you know about the Kirk Minahan show. If you're from Massachusetts and you listen to sports radio, you will know who Kirk Minahan is. Kirk Minahan, I've been a fan for a long time. And Kirk Minahan, some of you will know he does the show The Case, where he did the Sandra Birchmore story. Kirk had a show, the Kirk Minahan show, on Barstool Sports. He is on an indefinite hiatus. And listen, Jerry Callahan and I'm love Jerry Callahan, love Kirk Minahan. These are guys that have transitioned from Boston sports to commentary, sometimes political comment. Like, these are people that their voices are nostalgic to me in a way that I can't really explain. Okay. And anyway, so listen, Jerry Callahan once tweeted out that I was like, during my investigative reporting on the migrant crisis, like I was like one of the best journalists in Massachusetts. Okay. I remember crying when I read that. I was so like, are you fucking kidding me? Never in my life did I ever think like those people would ever even see me. And so Kirk has his show, and he has, and listen, it's not an easy listen, especially for women. These guys are peak male performance. They all have their little inside jokes. It's not an easy listen. It's only an easy listen is if you listen every single solitary day. You can't pop in once in a while and listen. You got to listen all the time. So there's a thing called Minifans, and that is basically, and then they have a Minifan of the year, which is like, you know, the number one fucking Kirk Minifan show fan. Our friend Nick Soares, who passed away, was Minifan of the year, and he was on Kirk's show occasionally. He had a show on YouTube called Cinema Lords, and my husband's best friend Kevin, who he grew up with, it was Kevin's little brother Nick, and we know like how much Nick loved going on the show. We you know, it was just a big thing for Nick. And I would always listen when Nick was on. He's can't even really describe his personality. If you watch him, you get it. You can go back and watch some of the old shows when Cinema Lords was on. But anyway, then I'm in this realm. I'm in the YouTube realm or whatever. And this is a long way to get to the whole fucking point of the story, but essentially, Kirk's show is off the air right now. Kirk is dealing with some mental health issues or some issues, and he's indefinitely gone. He popped in last week, and I was so excited because they did a show, and I got my hopes up, and it doesn't look like it's, you know, it's no permanent return or whatever. He's still doing the case, but he's not doing the KMS, which is fine. But they did a Bitches Week, and Kim was on. And there are some people who are Minifans. One of them, his name is Menners. He's from Australia. So I know some people have trauma from these Australians. But anyway, I shot my shot one time. I was on a Spaces, and I asked Kirk to come on my show, and he essentially told me to go fuck myself. But I reached out to Menners, and because Menners is basically trying to keep the Miniverse going. And all of these guys have like these little shows. And good morning. No straw. Thank you. Thank you. He's trying to keep these, he's trying to kind of keep the whole sphere going. So I reached out to Menners, and I said, listen, if you need me to jump on a show, I'm always available. Thank you. Thank you. Sure thing. I said, if you need me to jump on a show, let me know. So he connected me with one show, and they were like, oh, we don't do guests. So I'm not really sure why he didn't do the legwork on that. But then he reached out to me, and he was like, Kane would like to have you on his show. So there was a guy, his name is Kane. I think his handle on X is Kane is Able. And so he connected me with Kane, and Kane was like, I listened to your show. I'd like to have you on as a guest. That's tonight. That's tonight. I'm on the show tonight. I can't remember what time. Maybe somebody here knows. I think it's like 8:00. I think I'm on his show tonight. I will share it when I have a minute. Believe me, I know. So I said, sure, blindly. I said, sure, I'll be on. And Menners is like, thank you so much. And I love that Menners is like he's like basically being like a program director for all of these guys. Australia isn't real. So listen, I'm like happy. I'm so confident I can go on any show, doesn't matter what it is, and I will just talk. I can pivot, I can bring something. I'm not scared to go on a show blindly. I don't really care. It actually that's fun to me. That's like it's like chat roulette. Like I'm in. But I asked the guy, I said, "Can you send me a previous podcast or two of yours so I can listen? Just, I'm doing recon work. Like let me know what I'm up against, right?" So he sends me a link. He's like, "Well, I'm not sure it's going to help." And I was like, "Well, I'll be the judge of that, but like, I'll see you Tuesday." So he sends me a link to a show and he's like, he shits on me on the show, on the show. He's like, she's interesting and, she's got a following and, blah, 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 blah. He's like, but she's not my cup of tea. Like, I think everybody is basically looking for shit to carry them over when KMS is gone. And he's like, it's not something like it's going to sustain me while Kirk is off the air. And it's like, dude, what the fuck? I'm your sloppy seconds and I'm also not that interesting. So even more, I want to go on, right? Even more. So then thanks so much. You too. So then I do a check of him on social. Now listen, if somebody does a check on me on social media or X, they might not like what they see. Now he's been listening to my shows, so he knows about the drama and stuff like that, and he loves it. He's got questions for me, he says. Yay. That's great. So I'm checking out his socials, and I guess apparently there are some people that don't like Kane. There are some people that say Kane is a racist. Some people say that Kane said that sometimes women just have to get hit in an argument with their husbands. I'm not really sure. I can't tell if these are haters. You know me. If a video goes up about me, might not be true, might be true, who knows? But there are some people that do not like Kane. Now, Kane is from Massachusetts. He's from here. He's like local. Not local me, but I mean, you're going to have me come on a show. You shit talked me. I mean, I'm not saying it was bad shit talk, but like it was, remember that stupid weirdo lady that did the podcast and had that lesbian lady come on and they were like shitting all over me and I didn't even know who they were. I still don't know who they are. The lady that has like the big red hair and she does like the podcast in like a closet or something. That lady, like they shit all over me. This wasn't quite that. But it wasn't great. So first of all, I'll do anything for Menners. That's it. I'll do anything for Menners. And I called his show. He was doing a show the other night, and I called, and I was like, Menners, did you set me up with a racist? Did you connect me with a racist to do a show? And he was just like, oh. The verdict is still out on that, but I'll get to the bottom of it. Granted, it's not. I'll ask some questions. Listen, sir, it's your funeral. You asked me to come on your show. And he doesn't get views, okay? So he gets no views. Couple hundo, that's it. Like Mike Crawford LTL status. So I would love it if you guys would come and watch tonight on YouTube. I will share the link. I don't have it in front of me. He has shared it on his X account. But if you've got nothing to do tonight, come listen to Kane try to tame me on his show. I'm going to give him some views. It's a charity situation as far as I'm concerned. Listen, I can tell you he's going to get the most views of any show that he's ever had tonight. That's it. He's going to get the most views he's ever had. So if you're not doing anything, beats the fuck out of me what time it is. If someone can toggle over and go look at Cain is Abel and see what time he shared it. And then people were going at him in the comment section, not necessarily about me. They were like, well, some people were like, you shouldn't be going on with the racist. And I'm like, I'm going to listen, you know my rule. I go on a show one time. You ask me one time. RBB is off the rails. I don't know what's going on. RBB got booted yesterday. Texted me after I said no texting, sent a copy of her driver's license. I feel like I don't need that. I don't know what's going on. But you know what? I've seen what happens when people are fans of mine and it doesn't go well. Now I get the situation with MLF. Who knows? I'm trying to be nice, but are people be You know what I've learned? Can I be honest with you? Here's what I've learned. I'm not going to share this with you, the specifics, because there's one that doesn't know that I know. People fucking lie. People lie and have gotten me to text them as if they are friends and they are not. And so I can be here. I can be on this stream. I can talk to you all and I will take you all for face value that you're besties. However, I have to, and I've said this, I can't talk to people right now because some people are liars and they are pretending to be people they are not. And they are taking my stuff and sending them to other people. I can't. You can text me. You're just going to get a very generic response right now until I can sort through everything. That's it. And there's some patterns and behaviors of people that before I used to look at and go, well, that's kind. And now I'm going, oh, fucking shit. That's not kind. That's you sending me somewhere to look at something, to do something. Like, absolutely not. What I've gathered is somebody like me and you, we do this. It's all like wholesome shit. But there are some people like this is their fucking lives. And also there are some people where they are just fucking mean people. Like, first of all, we know that there are mean people. It's a very sad reality. There are mean girls. There are mean men. There are mean people. There are people that are fucking mean, that have mean streaks in their systems. They're just mean. They do mean shit. They say mean shit. I mean, what can you do other than stop talking to them? Sorry, I don't know. And it sucks. Sucks for me and the besties that are good. You know what I mean? But if you block RBB, the only thing that happens is RBB goes crazy and starts texting me. So what is RBB saying that is off the rails right now? And I've got text messages coming in. So who the fuck is what? Hold on. I can't see. There's too much sun. No, I know I can block, but so let's just say not RBB, for example. Let's say, I don't know. Look what happened with MLP. Look what happened. She wanted to be my friend. She wanted to go out with me. She wanted to come down to where I live. She told me she loved me. And I didn't reciprocate that. And look what happened. Look what happened. Look what I'm dealing with that person. Accusing me of harassing her. Like, I don't know these people. It's very fucking... I'm sure Jimmy is eating this up because he's like, stop talking to your fans like that. Stop. And I'm like, no, they're awesome. I love them. And he's like, don't do it. And, you know, like there was a little bit of a test because there was that woman who offered my husband and I the room and the tickets to Foxwoods. That could have gone bad and really kind of like ruined everything for me with as far as followers and fans go. And that went perfect. She was wonderful. She was so kind. She was nice. We met her. She was actually funny. I enjoyed talking to her. She had great stories. Like that kind of was like, okay, we're good. Everything's good. Is it? Is it? Normally we drive around and talk, but it's 8:30. So I'm actually going to go in the house into the office and eat my bagel and talk to you in there. And then I'll have my laptop and then I can see comments. So we're going to transition from car to home. And then maybe I can see things better. Let me see. Do I have a text? No, it doesn't look like it looks political. All right, let me get in the house. Then I can see my screen. I can eat my bagel. We can chat. Yeah, Jimmy, don't play that. Hold on, I'll tell you about this. Hold on. Wait, we have to do a sun salutation and stretch. I'm gonna put you down. Okay. Told you we face the sun and we stretch. Hi, Reagan. He's such a happy dog. Hi, Reagan. Hi, Quincy. I will come back and let you out in a few minutes, okay? Not right this second. You already went out. Hi, Quincy. Hi, Gingy. Oh, I got to tell you about Gingy. Hold on, let me get my laptop. Hey, everybody good? Guys, not right now. Not right now. Go lay on mommy's bed. Hold on, let's get upstairs. Not me dragging the cord to my laptop. Oh, I have. My family has taken to putting Amazon things on my desk. So these came in and I didn't even see them. All right, let's see what's going on here. Is this too much? Is this too chaotic for you guys? I'm sorry. My laptop is normally in my office, but we took it with us, obviously, last night. Okay. Yeah, it's a little chaotic. Okay. Let's get some comments up so I can see what's going on. Here we go. Let's mute it. Oh, this is great. Now I can see comments. Now I can see everything. I still will have to get to the bottom as to why. Okay, perfect. Okay, now I can see everybody. RBB and Shane went missing together. Love that for us. I also want to give a shout out to, I don't know if she's here in the chat, but CW. She's the lady I see on the morning walk. Now when I see her, I slow down and scream out the window and blare on the horn. Hi, bestie. RBB will be right back. Okay, this is great. Now I can see everybody. Everything's fine. Did I watch the Karen Reed Rotten Mango interview? I didn't have a chance yesterday. I was so busy, but I was thinking that that might be something that I wanted to do today when I was in the car. Noodles, your sweater is sitting on, and so is my the Lily Pulitzer popover is sitting on my dining room table. I will take it with me when I leave today. Kane's podcast info tonight on the Facebook group. Thank you, Mermaid Bunny. Does it say Mermaid Bunny Mary? Thank you. So yeah, so we are going to do Kane tonight. Is it 8 o'clock? Is it 8 p.m.? I think I'm going to listen to the Karen Reed thing today. How long is it? Who doesn't, I mean, I feel like I would have liked to have heard this before. Does it have a lot of views? Oh, Brian's cologne ad. We're going to do that on Wednesday. So one of the things that I wanted to say is, let me find Kane. It's 2.5 hours. What the fuck? What? Oh, I don't, that's long. Did people listen to the whole thing? That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, those kinds of views are that person is huge. That Rotten Mango's huge. Okay, so tonight, Kane, 8 p.m. Let me grab the link and I'll post it here. Kane is able, follows me. Let's see. Yeah, he gets roasted in the comments. He's got some haters. Okay, here it is. It says live Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Jess Machado show will join me on Kane's Corner. Kane's Corner is what it's called. Does he not have the goddamn link in his profile? What is this? What is this? Amateur hour? Jesus Christ. Is RBB in the chat? I'll give RBB a link. My thing with the Karen interview is wait, RBB's in the chat. Oh, look, it's actually going to be okay. So it's Kane's Corner featuring Jessica Machado. It's actually going to be on the Minifan network. So let me get that link and I'm going to share it for you in the chat. And then I will share it on my X account. I thought he had his own channel, but he apparently does not. That's okay. You'll get there, Kane. RBB, do you want to come on right now? I will send you a link, or scroll up. The link is here. You're more than welcome to jump in. Is that what you need, RBB? Okay. There's the link for the YouTube for tonight for Kane. Does RBB want to come in? Here, we're going to drop the link for that too, RBB, if you need it. All right, there you go. So first of all, coming from a place of having the show itself right now, like who is RBB? Real Bieber Bauer is just someone who's in the chat, and I thought was a friend. I can't tell if it's a foe. I can't tell, to be honest with you, but I will say that they have gotten upset when they get blocked. They say they don't do anything wrong. I'm not in the chat enough to know, but I trust my mods. I spoke with them yesterday. There's a little bit of like shit going on where it's like, I don't know. You guys all know how I feel. Like, everybody can be here. What's the problem though? I guess, like, what is the issue? All I know is RBB is a real person. She has sent me her goddamn driver's license. I see her face, her name, and it is her name. But I don't know why she's getting upset. She texted the license after I told everybody not to text. So Jimmy released an album yesterday, and I didn't you know what? She's not the first person to send me a copy of her driver's license. Do you know who the other person is to send me a picture of their driver's license? Jason Broyles. A long, long time ago, in the beginning, before anybody knew who Jason Broyles was, and it was just the Haley account, he messaged me. So going back to the Jason Broyles situation, I didn't know who that Haley Walbrecht account was, didn't really care. You know me, don't really care. And I worked for Fall River Reporter. I had been covering Aiden's hearings. And before they were impounded, I got all of the Lindsay Gattani docs. So I had all of her court documents before they were impounded. Now, you know, in my mind, and I still maintain, if I achieved those documents through regular public records prior to them being impounded, I could have released them. I had written a very lengthy story about Lindsay Gattani with all of those things woven through it. And my boss at Fall River Reporter was like, yep, we're going to push it out. We're going to get it. And we'll put it out there. And I said, okay, we got so many views and hits on the Aiden stories that I had done, his interview from jail, that I was like explaining it to him. And I was like, you know, how he got to jail is important. Like, I want to highlight the person that put him there. And, you know, I understood it wasn't like, you know, the regular run of the mill story that Fall River Reporter was used to, but I was like, I think we'll get some views on this. There's interest. So he's like, yeah, work on it. In the meantime, he was like, we're going to run the story by our attorney to make sure it doesn't like do anything wrong or whatever. And I was like, okay. So he's dragging it on. And I kept saying, oh, it's going to come out, and he wouldn't publish it. And it's not going to come out. RBB, like, you must have said something. I don't know what's happening. So ultimately, Fall River Reporter chose not to publish it. But Jason Broyles, as Haley Walbrecht or whatever, or not Haley Walbrecht, messaged me and said, "Hey, are you going to be publishing this story? I also have the documents. I don't want to step on your toes. I want to give you time. Are you going to do it?" And he was basically like presenting as like a journalist and was like, "I'm going to do it if you don't," type situation. And I was like, "Well, just give me a little bit more time." And finally, like my boss wasn't going to do it. And so he did it. But he was messaging me and this is my very first few messages with him. He was just like, "I just want to let you know who I am." And he sent me a copy of his driver's license. And he's like, I think he told me there were only 2 people who knew who he was. And I was like, "Okay, hi, thank you." I didn't care. To me, you know how I feel about people who have fake accounts. It's like, why can't you just be yourself on here? What's going on? What are you doing in life where you can't be, Jason Broyles on the internet? I still don't know the reason. I don't really know. Um, but I've had very limited interaction with Jason Broyles. I did have women message me about Jason Broyles and told me about their interactions with him and sent some screenshots and asked me if I would do a story on it. And it just didn't hit the threshold for something that I would write a story about. And for the most part, I have not, unless Jason Broyles is behind these accounts that have been going after me, he's never done anything to me. So like on the Horizon social chart, he's like right there in the middle. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to fuck with people if they don't fuck with me. And so I didn't write the story because, I don't know the women. I don't know him. I don't know if there's extra. It's not story worthy. It's gossip and drama. If I had a daily talk show where it was just drama like this is where we would discuss it. But I wasn't going to write a story about it because I just wasn't really sure it fit. You know what I mean? So, um, and also I had like a little weird interaction with him. You know what I mean? He said one of my pictures I posted was a thirst trap, and I didn't know what a thirst trap was. I do now. But it's a guy. My take here is I don't know, but he's the second person to send. Well, he was the first person to send me a picture of his driver's license. I know some people are saying you're anonymous because of your job. I get that. Anyway, so there's that. I'm actually on my laptop and I'm still having a hard time see RBB's shit. I sent a link. It's in the chat 2 times already at this point. RBB, do you need to chat? Okay. All righty. Okay. Go backwards to what I was saying. Just ignore. No, I asked why I was blocked because I wasn't blocked for any valid reason. I don't really, you do care. I don't care. You're not talking about it anymore. Stop talking about it. You were putting a timeout. You're back today. Stop it. Just let it go. Let it go. You're going to be okay. Absolutely no reason why you should get upset if you got timed out of a chat. Even if you were upset, you shouldn't be talking about it. Who cares? This is not real life. This is a chat on a live stream on a Tuesday morning at 8:30. I love that it matters to people, but it can't matter that much to people. Like, what if tomorrow I didn't do it? No, not call me. Just forget it. We're done. We're moving on. So the Uvalde trial is happening, and I got sidetracked about the whole thing about school shootings and stuff like that. But Uvalde came after Parkland, and Uvalde is a crazy, crazy situation. And one of the police officers who was on site that day is being tried, right? And charged with, I don't know the exact charges, whether it's negligence, whatever. And I would normally not be on board with this. Like the Parkland police officer also was charged. And I don't know So my whole theory on this is pretty simple. Um, Most school districts do not believe that they will ever be victimized with a school shooting, and the odds are small. However, um, you still have to plan for it. You still have to prepare for it as if it would happen. So, and the reason for that is because if it does happen, children may die, teachers may die, right? So you have to plan for it. You must prepare as if it would happen. Once it happened one time, you have to plan and you have to pretend that it could happen, and you have to do absolutely everything that you can in order to prevent this. The problem is well, there's a couple of things. For me, I've been able to see, we had a police chief here who called me one time and said, your child is never going to get shot. He's got a greater chance of getting struck by lightning than getting shot in a school shooting. And I was like, okay, okay. Uh, I don't care whether you think that. I want there to be almost no risk. If there's a slight risk, fine, but I want there to be almost no risk. I want there to be absolutely everything. Take RBB out. Just take RBB out. Time them out. I'll do it. I'll do it myself. I'll do it. Nobody hates you. I'm annoyed. 24 hours. Bye. The fuck out of here. So annoyed. Now you're distracting me from doing what I want to do. Like, absolutely not. You don't run my fucking shit here. I told you I'm in a mood to fight. Don't fuck with me. Jesus Christ. I blocked her myself. It wasn't my mods. It was me. I blocked you for 24 hours. Stop it. And don't text me. Like, this is my show, and I can't even do a show because there's too much shit going on here. Stop it. Like, that's this, like, we give a long leash here. You know what I mean? A very, very long leash. Um, so anyway, like, okay, so the chances of your house catching fire are also slim to none, but you still have homeowners insurance. The chance of you getting into a car accident, whatever that may be, you still put car insurance, you still have life insurance, but so we're supposed to send our children to a school and not mitigate the risk of potentially something happening. That's crazy. You should be doing absolutely everything that you possibly can. And that's it. You know what I mean? And so my take on this whole thing is most school districts haven't done that. Right after there's a school shooting, everybody will do something. It happens every single solitary time. Every single solitary time there's a school shooting, somebody gets a little excited. Somebody's like, oh shit, we're not doing anything. And those are great opportunities to, kind of like revisit things. But the problem is most school districts aren't doing anything. When we had this situation with, Parkland, we had teachers, anonymously come to me and say, we don't have doors that lock. We have no way of barricading ourselves in. We have no communication. I have a bad Wi-Fi signal in my room. Like, it's just the craziest shit in the world. And so for us, we changed those things. You could walk right into a school, right? You could buzz on a door and you could say, hi, I'm here to pick up Kevin. They'll buzz you in. And then you go to the window and say, hi, I'm on the list and I can pick up Kevin from school today. And you show your license, and then they'll call Kevin. But before that happened, you are allowed into the building, which is crazy. So we had vestibules built. We had bulletproof vestibules built. So even if you get buzzed in, you're in a vestibule that is bulletproof and you have to show your ID. We now have machines where you take your ID and it scans it to see if there is any like Corey check issues or any problems or anything gets scanned into this system. And at a minimum, you can't just walk into a Somerset school anymore. But until me and a bunch of parents started making those complaints, you could just walk right in. It happened every single day. They had nothing. They had no just the simple basics. Um, and so Uvalde is a very interesting situation because there were children that were alive when schools weren't notified of the shooting, and they remained alive in a classroom with the killer. They called 911 and they were alive talking on the phone, and they ultimately were shot and killed. The amount of time that it took for these police officers to breach a door, obscene, obscene. And then we had parents that tried to go in the building, screaming outside, saying to get in there. My kid is in there. My kid is still alive. And they fucking arrested one of the parents, put them in handcuffs to stop them from doing that. I have never seen a failure to handle a situation more so than Uvalde. After the Uvalde shooting, I went on a deep, deep dive. And on my other laptop, I have every document from the Uvalde shooting. I have every single piece of public evidence. I have all of the videos, all of the body cams. They're all out there, but you guys only see, like, what people clip and they show. But like, I mean, I would probably say I spent 40 hours, a whole week's worth of time reviewing all of this. The transcript of the 911 calls, all of the 911 calls, there was really, to me, absolutely nothing made sense that these people didn't breach the door. The door was unlocked. They just never even touched it. They never touched it. They never even touched it. And it allowed him to kill more children. 19 children died in that. It was completely preventable. It could have been over the minute they got in the door, and they just stayed outside. You know, I'm not one to criticize police, especially in 2026. It takes a certain type of person to be a school resource officer. These weren't school resource officers. One was, but the others were police officers. People, the problem is in like Somerset, when is the last time like they've got to go into an active shooter situation? It doesn't really happen. You know what I mean? These people overthinking it, standing outside the room for over an hour is just insane. There is very rarely a silver lining. I mean, you got to listen. You got to see the body cam of these cops once they got in the room, coming outside, throwing up, crying. You know, I say this all the time. These kids are sitting ducks. That's it. They know they're going to get them because there's almost no way to stop them once they get in the building. Somebody is going to get shot unless you have a police officer on site with a gun, and there's a chance. But what I maintain is you advertise. This school is protected by armed security. And if your school has a sign out front that says that, that means somebody who is interested in killing kids is going to pick a different school. And just saying that, putting a armed police officer with a cop car in front of a building every single solitary day will deter somebody at a minimum. And I used to say this analogy, but it was true. When I worked at Bank of America, the bank that had an armed police officer out front never got held up. It was the bank that didn't have a cop on site. They went to the smaller branches where there was no police officer out front because they knew that they had a better chance of getting in and getting what they wanted without any adversity. So go to a school where there's no police officer. Go to a school where there's one police officer for a whole campus of kids. Like these are thought out shootings. These are not, just out of the blue, let me just go to the school. You know what I mean? There's some thought into this. They know about it. I maintain every single solitary school needs an armed school resource officer. The other thing too, school resource officers are a new thing that have a new meaning and a new job, and there needs to be some sort of like developed program so that everybody kind of does the same thing. And I know they're trying to do that, but like you look at like, I don't know. It's just, there has to be better training. Um, the only thing that can stop someone going into a school with a gun is somebody with a gun. That's how it ends every single solitary time. So you need to put somebody on there all the time. And I'm open to those people looking very different. They don't have to look like a cop. They can look like they've got a polo shirt on and khakis and a gun at their waist. First of all, nobody should be scared of a good guy with a gun. Nobody should be scared of a cop with a gun or a school resource officer or a sheriff deputy. No kid should be scared of that. Very simply, they can say, I'm here to protect you. Okay, sounds good to me. The risk should be as close to zero as it possibly can. We send our children to a place. So when you have a child, every single solitary day, your job is to protect them and keep them safe. And for years and years and years, we blindly put our children on a school bus and put the care of their lives in the hands of other people. And unfortunately, those people, those institutions, those schools, those districts are not doing everything they can. And then they apologize when it's too late. And I'm not just talking about school shootings. I'm talking about every other thing, bullying, sexual assault, teachers having relationships with kids. You put your kid in a building and you think that this is the epitome of an institution, that they are going to take everything and take it seriously. And they've got your own interest at heart. And 99% of the time, they don't, because it's related to budgets and money. And so, I mean, I don't want to get started on it. It's kind of heavy, but it all comes down to budgets. It all comes down to money. When we were trying to get school resource officers in our schools, we had fucking liberal ass fucking teachers coming to our meetings and saying, we need mental health counselors. I said, then go advocate for money for mental health counselors. Don't say we can't have school resource officers because you need another guidance counselor. Go advocate for fucking money for a guidance counselor. We are here asking for money to hire a cop to go to this school. You don't have to stand up here and say, we don't want that. We need this. Then get your fucking ass to a meeting and ask for money for that. Go talk to your fucking Democratic state reps and ask them for money. Like, we can have it all. You can have your school resource officers and you can have your guidance counselors. Fucking spend my tax dollars. I don't give a fuck. But these people coming in here and saying cops are bad, we need bullshit. What are you going to do? You're going to hug a guy with the gun when he comes into your building and starts shooting fucking kids? Don't get me started. I'm glad the Uvalde situation is current and in the news, because these things fall off all the time. These things fall off. Listen, my kids are no longer in Somerset schools. But when my kids were in Somerset schools, I was constantly revisiting the school safety and security stuff. When my son was in the high school a couple of years ago, I sent a message to the school. I said, hey, how do kids get off the third floor of this building if the windows don't open? And they were like, great question. I go, if there's a shooter and they've got to exit, it's fight or flight, and you've got to flight. How is my kid getting out of a building when he's on the third floor, he can't open the door, and the windows don't open, and he's on the third floor? Like, what's the fucking plan? You just sit there and you fucking wait? So I was like, do we have things that we can put in these classrooms? Buckets or kits that we can put in the closet that will break the window and have a ladder that hooks off the window so they can climb down? Oh, we'll get that. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even know if they have it. I have no idea. But I was like, how's my kid getting out of this classroom? There's nobody singularly focused on school safety. It is just like one thing under the umbrella of schools. And I personally think it is the most important thing. And it is always, every single solitary time. What happens? This is how deep I got into this. Go look at Sandy Hook, Parkland, and Uvalde.
Go look at the year before the shootings at each one of those schools and go look at their line items in their budgets for school safety and school security, okay? It is minimal. They spend no money. They have nothing. And then the year after the shooting, 10 times the amount of money goes towards school safety and school security. First of all, which is a waste, because you know what? The chances of that school having another shooting are slim to none. But they realized they made mistakes after the fact. Children had to die in order for them to recognize that they weren't putting money into their budget. They cut, they trim, they go, well, there's no real risk, so we're not going to spend the money there. That should be the top priority. Fund safety over everything else first. But they don't. Nobody ever does. Go look for the money. That's how I see. You'll see the same thing happened in Uvalde. Sandy Hook was one of the biggest ones because I really dove into their numbers. And, they went from having one school resource officer for the whole district to I don't know, it went crazy. And then it kind of dropped off and it leveled out. But that was because parents wanted a peace of mind. They wanted to know everything was safe. You think, oh my God, this happened once, it can happen again. You have to look at the school districts where it's never happened. And you have to say, is anybody thinking that it will? And are they spending the money? And they're usually not. It's absolutely ridiculous. Runkle is covering it extensively. Is covering Uvalde. That's great. Maybe I'll listen to him. Yeah, the Uvalde, I was on the air at WBSM when Uvalde happened, and I was just, I couldn't learn enough about it. I was reading all of those transcripts, and it's just, Jess, I wrote emergency plans for schools in my state. Hold on, I want to read that. In my state, every district school teacher has a plan, Catholic and private schools. You did? And they were adopted by the school districts? You've been watching Runkle? Maybe I'll watch. See, that's more interesting to me than the Karen Reed thing, I hate to say. When we started, right after Parkland, we had one school resource officer here in Somerset. So we have a high school, a middle school, and we have 3 elementary schools. We had one school resource officer for the whole district, and he spent the majority of his time at the high school, all of his time. And I remember this is when it all started in town with Holly McNamara, the chief of police at the time. They basically told me, stay the fuck in my lane. Actually, stay in my lane is what I was told by the chief of police. And I was pretty much not really understanding why parents bringing up security concerns wouldn't be embraced. But knowing those people now and their egos, that was really what it came down to. These people literally we're just not going to have a parent come in here and say, hey, you're missing something here. So we had one school resource officer, and then we fought for a second and we got it, but it wasn't without a fight. And that one was supposed to do the elementary schools and the middle school. And then we heard from the teachers, we heard from the school resource officer himself, we heard from everybody that he was spending the majority of his time at the middle school. And we were like, okay, well, then all of our elementary schools are now unprotected. And we had to fight and fight and fight to get another one. And when the school committee wouldn't listen, when the school district wouldn't listen, the parents put it on the agenda to get discussed at town meeting, and the whole town voted almost in the complete majority to fund a 3rd school resource officer. So Somerset has 3. And I think we're as safe as we've ever been. And the guys who do it are badasses, in my opinion. Well, not all of them, but they're great. And they take everything seriously. Okay. With that being said, it is almost 9:00. I have to get ready. We are heading to the Kelsey Fitzsimmons hearing today. Who's going, or is anybody going? I know it's far for me, but are some people just run for politics? I'm going to be running for state committee, and that is the Republican state committee woman. That will be in 2028. and that will be the Republican person who oversees the Republican town and city committees in my district, currently held by Kayla Churchill, the girl that got my studio taken away from me. I'm going to be running against her. But as far as other, because the only people who vote for that are Republicans. I don't think I could win any race that wasn't like exclusively Republican. Democrats don't like me. Is anybody else going? Yeah, it's far for a lot of people. But I'll be there. I'll be live tweeting. So I'm going to get my computer juiced up. I didn't plug it in last night because I was so tired. And I think that's it, right? Brace yourself for traffic. Yeah, Jeff hates Salem. He says the worst part about it is the parking. I've never been, I want to run the smear campaign for Kayla. You don't need a smear campaign. I'm a better candidate than Kayla. That's all it is. Like, there's no need for a smear campaign. I mean, just all you have to do is just put us side by side. It's a very easy pick. She does nothing. I do everything. That's pretty much it. All right. Anything else I need to know about? But I will be live tweeting from Kelsey. Oh, you were kidding. Okay, good. We run on our own laurels. I posted you were covering the Kelsey case on the Facebook group. What Facebook group? Did you post that? Oh, I don't know who runs that page. I'm not really sure. Is that like a Mike Crawford situation over there? When people start being weird about who can cover a case, who gives permission for people to cover a case, that's just very strange. Do you know what I mean? That's just very odd, if you ask me. Oh, Crawford is the admin. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, that's next level. That's next level to me. Like, you can't tell somebody they can't cover something. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you want the case covered or do you not want the case covered? Why is there just one person that can cover it? I don't understand. What's in the Amazon boxes? I don't know. They're two. It's not even 2 boxes. It's 2 soft packages. I have no idea. One says Jess Machado Bestie, and the other one says Jess Machado Bestie. They're soft. It might be more puppets. Okay, I'm gonna go get dressed. Fun fact, I'm wearing exactly what I wore last night. I'm literally, my hair is up. I'm gonna put on a new face and I'm gonna go wear comfortable shoes. I'm not gonna, I've never been to this courthouse before. So I'm gonna go brush my teeth, get dressed, and I'm gonna head out. I will see you guys there. Have a great day. Thanks for listening. Bye.